Hi everyone, if you're new to this channel, welcome to the RSS. We'll be talking about every current issue that you want us to talk about that will be skewed towards sports, or rather we'll make it sports centric. And if you are new, as I've said earlier, make sure you press on the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you can get the latest episodes, as well as comment as we talk about the issues that really get you going. This is the RSS. And welcome to the RSS. You're with me, Rashid Salleh, and HD, the high definition Haresh Deol, the man who has a beautiful striped shirt from Amnig. Thank you very much, Amnig, for sponsoring us. You know, you actually look really good.
I thought I looked old in this.
No, you don't. You look really, really good. I look younger than you in my lovely Amnig blue shirt, but you look really good in it. Anyway, let's go on a topic that we've got this really interesting topic that we'll be talking to you about. We received this tweet from it was a tweet that was sent to you by the Diving Jedi. Now he said,
I was hoping on this topic you were going to discuss the mass exodus of Western sports science experts from ISN after MSN took over the podium program. I hope you guys have a topic about bureaucracy in sport getting in the way of what actually needs to be done. That was by the Diving Jedi.
Now, we've actually listened to what you've said. Thank you very much, Diving Jedi. Hope to meet you one day and discuss this. But we're actually going to talk about bureaucracy in Malaysian sports, and that's something quite interesting because when you told me about it, this is something that has been going on forever. So let's start from the very beginning. We can't because there's so much to talk about and we haven't got that much time.
Correct. But let's dissect the tweet.
Yes.
Okay. First and foremost, mass exodus of Western sports science experts from the National Sports Institute. That's one. Number two, the fact that we had a number of foreign experts. What has happened to them and where is the knowledge transfer?
Right.
The third one is the podium program fiasco. We all know what happened there. And the last one is bureaucracy in sports, which we'll be discussing in detail today.
Okay, so we'll talk about the mass exodus of Western sports science experts. I think probably let's generalize it to the experts, the sports experts that's left. Now, I remember the time when we used to be actively in the field. I remember when I was working with broadcasters, seeing a lot of the foreign faces, especially in gymnastics, in swimming, archery, of course cycling, the major podium sports. Now, obviously, a lot of those people have left. Football is one. Although it's Malaysian, but foreign based. Now gone back to.
Okay, we have seen.
We've got a lot of those, and I call it the brain drain. But we'll talk about that a bit later because we also have local guys who have not been accepted in the local scene but have thrived abroad. So that's two things. Let's talk about that. The first one, about the foreign experts first.
Okay, the foreign experts, we've seen quite a number of officials, foreign experts serving in various capacities, whether it's with the National Sports Institute or in sports associations as coaches and technical directors. Now the question is, each time when we hire someone, and we pay them big bucks, what happens then? Where is the KPI? And where is the transfer of knowledge? The reason why you get in an expert is to learn from the expert, not a situation whereby you get in an expert, you suppress the expert, and then the expert leaves, and all you've done is just wasted a whole lot of money. So that's the situation.
Him to do his job and then blame him at the end.
Yeah, correct. Yep, that happens too.
That happens quite a lot.
Correct. So exactly like what I said earlier, because you suppress him, he's not been given the opportunity to do what he is supposed to do or what he is hired to do, and then everything else is just been blamed upon him or her. So that's a bit unfair.
I have an example. I remember Morton Frost in badminton. He's come
Yeah.
in twice.
Yeah.
If I recall.
Yeah.
The first time was as a head coach.
He was in charge in sporting talents as well. So
Yes.
he was based.
And then he left.
Yep.
And then he came back again.
Correct.
And then he left.
Correct.
Now, surely the first time they would have known if it was good or not, and not to hire him again. What happened there? I mean, why is there?
So this is the classic example of where we see the same faces circulate within the industry. You see the same faces coming in and out. Let's take football coaches for example. You tend to see the same faces. Even in hockey, for example, my colleague Greg Nunes, he wrote on 2213 about why are we seeing the same faces in hockey. That was as recent as in February he wrote about it. So this raises a lot of questions as don't we have local talents that can step up and actually play that role, and how long are we going to suppress those local talents? Because if the idea, you see, for me, the idea of getting a foreign or an expert is because we don't have that expert at home. That's number one. Number two, when we hire somebody or when we bring that person from abroad, naturally there should be a buddy system or a mentor-mentee system whereby the locals will then learn from this particular expert, so that when he leaves or when his contract expires, these locals can then continue. But we're not seeing that.
Well, we have, in some sense, you talk about that. We have someone like in cycling, Josiah Earn.
Yeah.
Now let's. I'm sure he's learned a lot from Beasley.
Yeah.
And yet, we've had a case where he's now coaching abroad.
I mean, he's
Why
back
is
in
that?
Malaysia. He's
Yes.
back in Malaysia now. But okay. Take Josiah for example. At one time, he was the national coach for Thailand.
Right.
And that created a big scene when his Thai cyclist actually won. I remember the Asian Games. Actually won the Kirin.
Asian Games or the Sea Games.
The Sea Games as well. Yeah. So. That's one aspect. We've also got squash player Ong Beng Hee, who's currently in Qatar. We've also got this sports official Saifuddin Abu Bakar, who is now also based in in the Middle East.
And Gaz Ramli, who's in.
A good friend of ours, Gaz
Yeah.
Ramli, who's managing. He's managed football. Perth Glory Football Club. He's managed in Aussie football rules. Club.
And baseball as well.
And right now he's with the baseball team.
Yeah.
So you have talents there, but what happens when they return? Why is there that question is always on everyone's mind. And number two, when it comes to the pay structure, why is it that we pay foreigners more than our locals? At the end of the day, you pay a person not based on his skin color. You pay a person based on his or her experience, based on his or her resume. So if the local talent is as good as the foreign talent, he should be paid the same. So that's the colonial mentality that we have.
All right. So the bureaucracy itself, we look at MSN, NSC, NSI. What are their roles then?
Okay, let's get it clear. It's very easy for people to say, oh, there's a lot of interference from the National Sports Council. I mean, when you expect money from the National Sports Council, when you hunger for money, when you beg for money from them, and then you expect them to keep quiet and not give, scrutinize your programs, that's wrong. They are funding you. So if the day sports associations stand on their own feet, the day they become professional and embrace the word professionalism, then they don't have to worry or kowtow to any government agency.
That's happening with MMA at the moment.
Yeah, but why? But why? I mean, because you see,
we don't have funds.
It's 2020. You need to look at business, at sports as like a business entity. You need to monetize. You need to use your assets. Your assets are your people and the athletes included. So you need to find ways. You need to come up with more leagues, more. And when you think about sports, it's not just about the elite. That's the first mistake most sports associations make. They only think about the elite because everyone wants to go to the Olympics, everyone wants to go to the SEA Games. It's all about that. What about mass? Now, can I ask you a question? How would our children benefit from, let's say, for example, the amateur swimming, Union of Malaysia?
Lots more swimming pools around.
Look,
They could build more swimming pools.
Look, I know they have quite a number of, let's say, for example,
again, bureaucracy. What are their role? What's their role?
Correct.
Is it just to serve the elite, or is it to serve to grow the sport? I mean, it all depends. Again, it all depends on what gymnastics, for example.
Yeah.
You got Serena who does gymnastics. So
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
Now she does it as she runs a club, so she has her own club, and there are many more others. I know one very well, Sedang Rhythmic Angels.
Right.
They are run by Tela Hong and Mama Kok. Both of them were instrumental, during of the gymnastics success during the 1998 Commonwealth Games. So they have done a fine job, and in fact, IGM is one of their silent sponsors. It's been there. They've been quietly sponsoring the team for a long time. They have got the Angels Cup and so forth and so on. Amy Kwan is a product of Sedang Rhythmic Angels. That shows that how they have developed
So the
talents.
right bureaucracy, the right administration.
Correct.
Then
So it goes back to
thrive,
professionalism. It goes back to going back to community, going down to the grassroots.
So on a final note,
Yeah.
how do we improve on bureaucracy in general for any sport then?
Now bureaucracy will always be there. Yeah?
Bureaucracy, yeah.
Bureaucracy. Sorry.
Still has a problem with the word.
Yeah, bureaucracy.
Don't worry, I have
Biocracy
Yeah.
dalam bahasa Melayu. So that is still a problem. That will never go away. Yeah, but we can minimize it. So the moment sports associations stand on their own feet, then they have one less hurdle, which is the government agencies to deal with. So that's all I've got to say. As embrace professionalism, start adopting a professional mindset, and it's 2020. There's no excuse.
Oh yeah, we should be moving forward and
Yeah.
moving forward together. Well, thank you very much,
No problem.
Harish. You've been watching RSS. We'd like to thank, of course, Amnig for the lovely athleisure wear that we're wearing. Especially that one is really, really nice. Looks
I don't know. I
really,
still
really
feel
good on
like
him.
I still feel old in this.
No, you don't.
It's nice. It's nice, Amnig. Thank you. But
better
anyway.
side of 47. So, thank you also to MKCC for having us here in the studio, as well as having him in the studio. I still can't. It's lovely. Anyway, thank you very much for watching RSS. Don't forget to subscribe. Press on the notification button. If you have any comments, do write your comments in the comments below and tell us what you think and what issues you'd like us to talk about. It's been really great having HT here. I'm the RS. This has been the RSS.